And I want to talk to you about familiarity or personalization during meetings. Imagine yourself in a meeting and you have a tablet or a phone on the table and your interpreter's in the phone and you're communicating back and forth through this interpreter. Well, a lot of times that's not enough. A lot of times we find that you need to see the person who's communicating, because 80% of communication is nonverbal. Even if you can see the other person, you only see it after the fact once you hear it through the interpreter. And so one of the things we've done to combat that and to help people with that in this digital age is we put the interpreter on the screen. Interpreter sets up their screen, and as maybe the psychologist or the school representative is communicating to this parent in this parent-child meeting, or the child is speaking, they're able to communicate visually as well as verbally through these meetings. Not only that, a lot of times these cases where there's parent-child meetings or meetings where there's going to be or multiple developmental meetings for the same student or for the same parent and multiple students, there's kind of a continuity of service, and you need to have the same interpreter on that call over time, because then that interpreter will have a very deep understanding of what's going on in this situation, and they're able to convey the meaning of what's happening in that meeting to the representative of the school or the parents and the child over time in a much more clear and consistent way. And so two things we found is, first of all, putting the interpreter up on a screen and helping everyone see each other during the conversation. And the other thing is, when we have interpreters in these meetings, sometimes there's a glitch. Sometimes there's a technological failure, and maybe the sound doesn't work. Maybe the internet goes out. Maybe the battery dies on the device, and that interpreter has to drop off the call. Well, in Taika, there's always a second interpreter there waiting to pick up right where that person left off, who's listening in on the call, just in case such a situation happens. So you just continue right on through your meeting. The new person picks up, comes onto the video, and carries you forward to the end of the meeting. And this helps on so many different levels, because then you're able to see those visual cues. When we're communicating, 80% of communication, I think, is nonverbal. And so when we're communicating in such meetings, those nonverbal cues are really, really important. The tone, the facial expressions, or the concern on someone else's face. And you really can't see that unless you can see it. And so those are a couple of things that Taika does during our interpretation processes to help parents, school teachers, and the whole situation to be a much better communicative process, because we can't move forwards if we can't communicate, if we can't connect. And people connect through people, not through machines. So that's why when we have the interpreters up on the screen, people can see each other, and then in the event that person has to drop off and we have to bring a new one on, they're ready to go, ready to take over that opportunity to communicate and connect parents and children as they work through those challenges of developing their relationships with their schools and with their studies.